But the thing about the department is that everything that they do is shady.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
And and I've researched cases that have been overturned, and most of them are overturned for the very same reason: fraud.
I saw one of your posts that you had several cases from around the nation, different states, fraud. And I was like, that's what's going on.
And I need to let parents know and mothers know that that's it. Because the thing is, in order to get a lot of our kids, coercion is fraud. Misrepresentation is fraud.
Yeah.
Even writing the wrong allegation, fraud.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's how. I don't care how much time has passed. I don't care if I don't care if you gave up when your child was taken and they did what. I don't care if your child's been adopted off and been with that them family for 5 years. If you want your baby, there's always a way to get your child, and because they only do these things off fraud.
Yeah, that's it. How else can you really, when you look at reality, how else can they do it?
They lie under oath, and that's a good thing. And my thing is, oh man, my memory is so sharp. They can't say, I can recall their conversation and what they said in their testimony better than they can. And you know why? And I put it to, and again, people have to remember that. They testified to something, there's a transcript, and then the communication that they had with you, I'm sure they said something different. Fraud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the story. Yeah. So that's it. And again, and that's what parents need to, I just want women, mothers, to basically be confident in themselves. You have to be fearless. When it comes to our kids, there is no time to be afraid. I'm not afraid of them. They took everything that meant anything to me.
Yeah.
And if they think that I'm not going to fight tooth and nail for it, they are sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm not. I am a lionesses are the ones who do the fighting. They do the hunting and they do the protecting. If you want your baby, fight for your baby. The fact is, the only person that's going to affect is your child. You know, no group of strangers can tell you what you should do as a mother. What right were they given? They are nobodies in the whole grand scheme of things. You are divinely created to have given birth to that child. That child is yours and all forever connected to you.
Straight
Fight
up.
for your child, because even in the long run, your child's going to see your fight and know that you didn't give up. Because that's the thing. That's what they use. They always tell kids, oh, your mother didn't want you and everything like that. And that's the narrative. And you have these kids growing up with this resentment in their heart because the person who carried them and gave birth to them didn't want them.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's not true, let the world know it's not true.
Straight up.
Don't ever let a group of people with no experience, and half of them don't have kids, tell you what you should feel and what you should do as a mother. That is your right. You know, and I tell people there's always something. Always do something. It doesn't matter. Find the weakest link in the chain. The weakest link is always the social worker. And file complaints against that person. File complaints against the attorneys. File the complaints against the judge. Keep going. And every time they do something, file another complaint. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because they're going to have to answer to that eventually.
Yeah.
Again, what else do you have to lose? They already took everything from you.
Yeah, that's real. That's
you know,
real.
just keep at it. Be as annoying to them as they are to you. Keep going. No, and again, because the only person that's going to affect is your child. You think I could care less about the people who have my child? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It wasn't, your life was never meant for me to care about.
I agree. I agree. It's not about that.
It's about my child.
Yeah. And like you said, one thing about when we all was children once, that you grow up. You're going to grow up to know what happened. And like you said, like, that's powerful. Like, she'll be able to see and know. And then you'll start figuring things out as you get older yourself, you know, and just from you not giving up, like I can tell they want you to go away. I watch like a mind counter what you was on, watching your lives.
I'm not even in my county anymore. I've been getting harassed by the police department so much. They say, I don't live in the same place. Again, because they put they try to make it seem like, you know, I'm creating all these problems. But why are y'all monitoring me so hard for somebody who is, or according to the Guardian Ad Litem attorney, and you know, for clarification, a Guardian Ad Litem is a person appointed to your child to speak on the behalf of your child. They represent right. She said that I'm no longer Teigan's mother. So why are you worried about a woman who's no longer Teigan's mother?
Who the fuck is you to tell somebody that this?
They say some off the wall stuff to me.
This is straight out like some wicked ass practices.
And I've tried to petition to get the transcripts, and the judge denied them because she said she doesn't see a valid reason why I need them.
See,
y'all talking reckless to me in every hearing. There is a valid reason. It's It's called like the constitutional law, the civil rights. Like it's a lot of reasons why I need them. But why are you obstructing that? If you are standing firm in your decision to sever the rights to my biological child for the rest of her natural life, then you better be prepared to defend it.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Don't conceal it and hide it, because that seems sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, anything you represent a public agency. It's supposed to be public, you know what I'm saying, publicly funded, publicly doing right for the public. Any hiding is not
this whole
good.
Again, they have made, in my opinion, and my goal was to be a judge. I was going to go to law school, become an attorney, and I was going to be a public defender because I felt like I had the tenacity to represent people properly who couldn't afford it, because poverty should be no reason why you lose anything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the we in.
Right, in a country built off of the work of people that weren't getting paid. Don't tell me that poverty is a reason why I should lose something.
Straight up.
So I always want to do that. And to watch these people make a mockery of the court is not only insulting, because at the end of the day, you have brainwashed African Americans to believe that we have a right to things, only to basically play games with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah, you're right.
We've been brainwashed. Think about the whole civil rights movement. We've been brainwashed to believe that. So this is what we believe, and this is what we hold true to. And again, from where the justice system, with a lot of prisons filled with people, so we assume that the laws are being followed, right?
See, everybody got this assumption until most of the time you have to go through. Because, like, so many conversations we have through the years of people looking at us like, they did that too? You must have been doing something. Like, we weren't doing nothing. We were not doing nothing.
My blood boils for the amount of, again, I have a background in forensics. By degree and profession, I'm a pharmaceutical scientist.
Okay.
You know, so, and I study forensics because I love forensics. It's the truth, you know. You cannot change forensics. You cannot change your DNA. You cannot change. So I literally am passionate about it, and it boils my blood that people can just manipulate things when they feel like it. You know, as if this field has working so hard to be credible, only for people to just make a mockery of it. You know, I've had, in my case, it was an allegation. There was blood spatter found in the kid's room. But nobody ever addressed the fact that the blood spatter didn't match anybody in the house. It was a rental. We were renting. So the blood spatter, but they don't clarify. They use these little bitty stories to basically incite public outrage, to make people believe that somebody did something wrong. And that's what they've been using for forever. Oh, you whistled at a white woman. Hang them.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's why I want to get into you about, because now we're getting into malicious intent. Malicious intent and an agenda. Because since we've been having a conversation, subjective terms, keeping knowledge, you asking for paperwork, you're asking for policy, they're not getting it. So all of this, what you're saying, is pointing to an agenda. And I want to get into your personal testimony through your experience and just your own thoughts on exactly what do you feel? Do you feel there's an agenda, and what do you feel it really is?
The agenda is different for different people. So for me, the agenda was keeping this Negro in her place. It was retaliation. They think that I didn't do anything to protect. I mean, again, my niece, she was white. She was all white.
Okay.
My ex-husband is white. My daughter is biracial.
Okay.
I didn't protect this white child, and I had to pay for it. And I paid for it with my own blood. So basically, it was a child for a child. It was vindictive. Wow. It was malicious, and they didn't need the truth, because the only thing that mattered, that I, as a mother and a woman, didn't, to their knowledge, protect the child that I fought for almost a year to get. So I will fight for her like she was my own, but then all of a sudden allow something horrible to happen to her. But what are you trying to say about my character? Because all of this was assessed when y'all did background checks and all this other stuff, and all the conversations they had with me. It only turned when I couldn't do anything. Yeah. I couldn't do what they wanted me to do because I had no knowledge of what they're trying to speculate, you know? Yeah. And so it was a life for a life. I believe that with all my heart. Because on record, the CPI investigator said, well, someone has to answer for that child. whoa, so your goal is not to find the truth or to get justice. You're saying someone has to be held accountable.
Somebody had to go.
You didn't matter how you got the accountability.
I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
That's a different narrative.
Yeah.